Okay. Top 10 most torrented movies of the week, ending April 12th, 2021. Um, Torrent Freak is a little bit lazy here, apparently, with the text because there's only like one change in the text, I think. This week we have one new entry on in the list. Everything else here is basically just copy pasted from the last list. Anyway, so we'll skip that part and we'll just go straight to the list of movies. Um, Coming in at number one, just like it was last week, is Godzilla vs. Kong. Uh, Still at number two, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Still at number three, Chaos Walking. The new film, of course, is Thunder Force, which I have not seen. I'm not going to see. Relatively short little video review of it was done by the Critical Drinker. Go check that out. He basically just says it's absolutely terrible. I expected as much. Slipping from 4 to 5 on the list is Raya and the Last Dragon. I have not managed to see that yet, but I am still planning on trying to at some point manage that. Still at number 6 is Wonder Woman 1984. Slipping from 5 to 7 is The Father. Still don't know what that is. Don't really care. Slipping from 7 to 8 is Coming to America. Already mentioned that's garbage. Back on the list at number 10 is Tenet. I didn't see that. Uh, a lot of people talked about it like it was supposed to be good, but a lot of other people talked about it like it was just this confusing mess of bullshit. And the description of it being, I think, some kind of time travel thing or whatever, it sounded like, yeah, to me it sounded like it sounds like it's a convoluted mess that's just not interesting. Like it's trying to be something really impressive, and and it doesn't sound like it achieved that. Damn. Um anyway, slipping from 8 to 9 is Monster Hunter. Not a good rating at IMDb, and a ton of people have talked shit about it. But it's my understanding, I think, that the reason why they didn't like it was it's the same reason why. Well, maybe not the same. I'm not saying that it's a wonderful movie, but I have seen it now. I have actually seen Monster Hunter, um, and Mahler and the EFAP crew or whatever love the new Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland, but Gary from Nerdrotic and people like him hate it. But the reason why they hate it is because it's not Spider-Man. Their issue with it is the adaptation problem. It's not respecting the source material like it's supposed to be, as far as they're concerned. And I get that, I really do, because I despise when I'm familiar with the source material and then they take that and then they fuck it all to hell, and it's like, what it's like, was it really so difficult to just properly adapt it? But anyway. Um but I've not played Monster Hunter. I don't know jack shit about that game. I mean, I've seen it advertised from time to time for years. Um, so if you know all about what if you know what Monster Hunter is supposed to be about, and the movie, I guess, is nothing like that or something, then I can understand how you could be like really pissed. But I didn't know anything about it, and I watched the movie, and it's far from perfect, but I thought it was a fun little, monster action flick. Despite the fact that she's probably getting fairly old at this point, Mila Jovovich, or however you say her name, uh, she's still, she's still got it. Just like all the other movies she's been in, like the Resident Evil films and whatnot. I mean, they've all been like, none of them, honestly, even the first one, all of them have been of questionable quality as far as, like, was did the story really make sense? Certainly I don't think I mean, again, I've not played those games either, but I don't think they were, probably proper adaptations either. But so what? It's like they were enjoyable films, in my opinion. Even though I don't know. I mean, there's something about movies like that that is like if you just if you're not concerned with was it a proper adaptation or any other questions or even was it objectively a good film, it's like just let yourself enjoy it, and you probably can. I did, with the Monster Hunter thing. Uh I mean, it was weird. It it had some things in it that is like it's clear to me that this is sort of, well, I believe it's a Japanese thing, so it's like this is, there's just something about it that it's like this is kind of weird in a way that it's like it's just not something that it doesn't come from my culture, I guess. It comes from somebody, like they're like Japanese things, sometimes, anime or whatever. It has some tropes or whatever to it that it just don't appear in Western stuff, and it's just kind of weird. And it's like, what the, like where do they even, come up with this? And so it's just odd, and but uh, but overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun little film. I was a little disappointed that, I mean, not, spoiler warning. It's not really much of a spoiler, but it's a little bit of a spoiler. Um, she's an army ranger, I believe, and gets sucked into another dimension or some shit. I mean, if you know anything about the game, you probably know more about the idea behind that than I do. Um, and she's the captain or whatever, and she's got a team of other soldiers with her, and it looks very briefly, a short ways into the film, like she's about to die, but she doesn't, obviously, and which is great. But all the rest of her soldiers get killed, pretty quickly, and it's like, that was a little disappointing. I feel like, in some respects, I would have preferred that some of them stuck around, or something, but they all bite it pretty early, and then it's just her and the dude from that world working together for most of the film, or well, actually fighting and then working together, but whatever. Um, you know, you know, it like I said, a lot of things I'm sure wrong with it if you want to do a critical analysis, but I don't feel I don't always feel like there's a necessity to do a critical analysis of every movie. It's like some movies, sure, and in some respects, the better it is, or at least the better that it could have been, the more you want to pick it apart and be like, oh man, if this was just a little bit better or whatever. But when it's just kind of a dumb action film or whatever, and it's like, nah, it worked for me, and that's all I needed, So it did, it did it, it did its job. It entertained me for hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, whatever it was. That's all I require. So, yeah, I would recommend that everybody, see, check that out if you're interested. Um, obviously, if you've never played the game and you don't care about proper adaptation or whatever, then it's probably going to be more likely to please you. If you have played the game and you're like, this is all wrong, if you're going to be like that, then yeah, you probably want to give it a miss. Anyway, like I said, as far as the other films in this, like I said, I've already seen that. I've seen that. That was good. That was okay. Uh, don't know. Not gonna see it. Don't. Not gonna see it. Saw it. It was not good. Don't know. Not gonna see it. Supposedly crap. Not gonna see it. Sounds like crap. Not gonna see it. The Ryan the Last Dragon thing. I am gonna try to see that. So it'll probably still be on this list next week or whatever, and hopefully by then I will have had a chance to take a look at it and see if it's any good. Apparently, other people think so. 7.7. That's one of the better rated ones. I mean, you got 7.5 and then 8.3, 7.7, 8.4. You know. All right. Anyway, that is all there is to talk about for the moment. Until the next one.